Hi, my name's Zuli. I'm a product storyteller here at Medium, and in this video, I'm going to show you how and why to use Medium as a portfolio and how to optimize your profile to make the most of this opportunity of making your portfolio on Medium. Let's talk about how. The simplest way is to simply create a Medium account, click the right button, start writing your story about the way that you think about work. What kind of stories could be a good fit? Any kind of work that shows how you think about your work. You probably have ideas already, problems that you've solved that other people haven't, reactions to recent news in your industry, case studies that you've done, analyses of the work of other professionals in your field. These are just a few examples of the kinds of stories that tend to do really well as portfolio pieces. So the process to create a portfolio on Medium: pick one item from that list and write about it in a way that shows your thinking. So just to give you a few examples, here's Michelle Wiles. She's a marketer on Medium. She uses her profile as a portfolio. Here's just one example. She broke down how A24 went from an indie studio to a multi-million-dollar brand, which is great. This engineering manager, Eric Higgins, wrote about how his team fixed a 1 million per year bug, talking about technical debt. And if you're a cat trainer, maybe you can share common cat behavior myths that you have debunked with your client. This article doesn't exist yet. If you have written this or you want to, please let me know. I'd love to include it in my own portfolio of great stories on Medium. So that's it. You can publish the story and repeat the process as many or as few times as you want. And now look at your profile. Boom. It is a portfolio. You can send this profile or you can send individual stories to possible clients or employers, and you can let them find you organically on Medium too. That's the how. Hopefully you're clear that it's very easy, very simple to do. Now let's talk about why. Why Medium? Why not a personal website? Why not anywhere else on the internet? There are lots of places. First, it's very easy. Hopefully I've already demonstrated that. Second, you're going to reach curious, passionate readers who enjoy long form. That's why they're on medium.com. And third, you're going to benefit from Medium's very strong technical SEO. You don't need to know anything about it. You can share your portfolio, make a portfolio anywhere else on the internet, and I encourage you to do so. But if you're just getting started, Medium is a great option because it's simple, it's easy. You don't need anything like a personal brand or your own website. You just need a good idea that you can share with readers. Okay, let me detail those benefits. First of all, it's easy. Like I said, all you need to start creating a portfolio on Medium is a good idea about your work. You go to the story page, you've got your great idea, you hit publish, and it's great. You don't need a domain name, your website, anything of that. Just start writing. The second is, of course, that on Medium, you can send your link to anyone you want, but you're also going to be reaching a body of readers that don't know who you are yet. 100 million readers roughly come to Medium every month through web, app, search, email, social, and more. And they're looking for good stories to read. Some of them already are looking for people that they can hire or people that they can consult with or contract to do a project, and they will be exposed to your writing and your way of thinking, and that's going to be very persuasive to them. Here, for example, I'm getting a story by Mike Shoemake, whom I do not follow and who only has 22 followers because I follow data science. So I don't know him. I don't know anything about Analyst's Corner, the publication he's publishing in, but I'm still being recommended his story on Medium. So on Medium, your portfolio is going to reach these readers, potential clients, employers, or collaborators who are already here. But that takes me to the third benefit, Medium's strong domain authority. You don't need to know anything about SEO, but because of our very strong domain authority, stories are going to rank well on Google, generally speaking. When somebody Googles something or increasingly uses an LLM to ask a question, your stories are likely to show up as an answer to their question, especially if they're the helpful, detailed, thoughtful pieces that portfolio work tends to be. Again, you don't need to know anything about SEO. You just write with your target reader in mind and benefit passively. All right, let's talk about what you can do to make the most of publishing your portfolio on Medium. Write the story about your work and you've got a portfolio. Take advantage of those benefits. But if you want to do a little bit more, let's talk about how to optimize your profiles. First, you want to optimize your profile. So Mike Shoemake is actually a great example here. You can see that he, in his limited space here in his bio, is telling me exactly why I, both as a reader and maybe even as a potential client, should click on this story and check out his profile. He's a great photo that clearly displays who he is, that he's a real person, and he's included things like his experience and his interests. Second, you can choose to pin a story to the top of your profile. So Mike has actually done this as well. You can see that even though this was not his most recently published piece, it's one of the first things that I run into because he's pinned it to the top of his profile. It's very easy to do this. When you're on your own profile on Medium, you just click the three dots in the corner here and select Pin to Profile. Third, you should be creating lists. Lists are actually one of Medium's most underused features for building a portfolio. They are curated, shareable collections of stories that you can organize by topic, format, audience. You can add any Medium story to a list, but obviously for your portfolio, you should only add your own stories that you've written. So the reason this is helpful is because if you've written in multiple disciplines, or maybe you write for fun as well as for work, adding your story to a list like this, that gives you a list that you can send out to clients so that when they land on the link that you send them, they're not landing on your whole profile, which might have any number of stories that are or are not about your work. They're going to land on this curated list. You can even add a comment about why you think this deserves a spot on your portfolio. Okay, we've talked about how to optimize your profile. Let's talk about the tools that Medium has to help expand your reach. So on Medium, you can see that many stories are published in publications. So publications are themed collections of stories run by other writers on Medium. They are called editors, and they run publications the way that they see fit. The theme of every publication is a little different. The Writing Cooperative is obviously about writing. The Academic is about academic writing. Entrepreneurship Handbook is about entrepreneurship. So by submitting your story to a publication, you're going to access a group of readers who, even if they don't follow you, like for example, Entrepreneurship Handbook has 400,000 followers. Even if they don't follow you, your story will be recommended to some of those readers to see if it's a good fit for them. And you know that by submitting it to this publication, it's going to be shown to readers who are interested in entrepreneurship. When you publish your story, whether or not it's in a publication, you'll also have the opportunity to add up to 5 topics. Topics are beneficial for helping expand the reach of your story for 2 reasons. First of all, every topic has its own topic page. Like here you can see that cats has its own topic page, and just over 2,000 people follow this topic about cats. So a lot of readers, I think about 500,000 readers every month, come to Medium just to browse topic pages, especially in breaking news topics like AI, where you want to be on the cutting edge. But Medium also uses all these topics to help matchmake your story to readers. So you'll want to add up to 5 topics to help Medium share your story with readers who are interested in those topics. In the video description, I'm going to include resources to help you understand which publications are going to be the best fit for your story and how to find topics that are going to help your story reach its readers best. Okay, so that brings us to the summary of why create your portfolio on Medium. It's simple, it's easy. You'll reach not just readers on Medium, but through our strong SEO, you'll reach people searching for things that your work could help them solve. And we have so many examples of writers, of people who write on Medium who have found consulting gigs, new jobs, they've been headhunted, or they've just found collaborators because of the work that they're sharing on Medium. So write about your job, pin your best story, create a list, submit to publications, and share that profile or list anywhere that it's relevant, and trust that Medium is going to send relevant readers to your profile, to your stories as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, everybody.